Good morning, people. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you guys are ready to kick some ass this week and get better. So as always, guys, before we jump into the new week, we got to take a look at MarketWatch.com and we got to make sure we don't got any Fed bullshit to deal with this week. So today is Monday the 31st. And we take a look here and it looks like no Federal Reserve, no Uncle Jerome Powell. Only thing we got to worry about here is jobless claims, which honestly, guys, is a bit of a non-event as of late. So that's the good news. We don't got to worry about any Fed here this week, so let's get jumping in, guys. But check this out. Look at this. Zoom! Look at that bad boy. Drop the price a little bit more. So, guys, I'm not going to go through the full focus list. For those of y'all in the group, I'll see you guys at 9 o'clock this morning before the market opens. We'll go through all the setups here. But if you guys would like to pause this and take a screenshot, do as you may. Here's all the squeezes, guys, I'm focusing on heading into this week. Got the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour, the 2, the 1, the 30. That's it. If it's on my focus list, it's something I'm willing to trade. If it's not on my list, I don't care what it's doing or what it looks like. Two setups I want to show you guys here today, right? Two daily squeezes, an example of one that is yet to fire, and an example of one that has fired, right? Different ways to go about trading them. So for the example here, guys, of a squeeze that is fired, you take a look at Peloton here on the daily chart. Now, one thing I like to do is kind of, right, in this example, we'll find a daily squeeze. I want to go back and kind of look at previous daily squeezes and see, does this thing get some legs to it when a daily squeeze fires? And you look at the last couple examples here, made some really nice moves. So I like this setup, guys. Last week on Friday, on Friday, we're firing the daily squeeze. We're breaking above all-time highs. So we're building up energy. And now we're releasing energy and there's no resistance to be found now that we've broken out to an all-time high. So the easy way to trade this is to get your entry before the daily squeeze fires. But sometimes you miss that perfect entry. So what can you do from there? Once a daily squeeze fires, guys, my mindset is this thing could run for a couple of days, a couple of weeks. It's going to run as long as it's releasing energy and as long as you got momentum building. So granted, you might miss that ideal entry before the daily squeeze fires. But what we can do, guys, once the daily squeeze fires, and with the context that, man, this thing might start pumping here, we can look for entries or lower time frame squeezes, or at least that's what I like to do. So Peloton here, before the close on Friday, we got this beautiful 15-minute squeeze right underneath the all-time highs. So the daily squeeze is fired. We're releasing energy and momentum to the upside. Of course, Peloton could roll over this week. But these are the kinds of setups I like, guys, where at least in my opinion, the odds are leaning towards this thing potentially continuing towards the upside. So before the close on Friday, small position, again, like we talked about in yesterday's video, which you guys seem to really enjoy, everything is relative. But inside that squeeze, guys, I got 3 of this coming Friday's expiration. What did I get here? 70 strike calls, got 3 of them at 647, so right, $1,900 again. Relative, that's a small position. But based on the delta, right, we got about a delta 83 at this point. If we can see the squeeze fire and make a move towards, say, 80 this week, which isn't all that far off, especially considering the fact we could be pumping here, we're looking at about a 40 to 50% return. So that would be more than enough, guys, on a name like Peloton. It's not something I typically focus on, but I like myself a good squeeze. So the daily squeeze fired, I missed the ideal entry, but with patience, found myself a beautiful 15-minute squeeze. This is very similar, guys, to my trade from last week in Salesforce. Daily chart just explodes. This thing's going crazy. And then you get a beautiful 30-minute squeeze. So a lot like Peloton here, big ass move on the daily chart. We then go into a nice choppy consolidation. Jumped into the 30-minute squeeze and caught that continuation. In and out, nice little move. So I'm a fan of doing that, guys, if you've missed the bigger picture daily squeeze firing. But now let's look at an example of a stock that's in a daily squeeze and is yet to fire. And I'm telling y'all, I'm a big fan here of this setup. So we got AMD, which is a semiconductor stock, squeezing on the daily chart. More importantly, we're squeezing on the daily chart right underneath those all-time highs. I love this, guys. We build up energy. If we can release this energy, there ain't nothing stopping this thing. So I like the setup. I like the trend of the stock itself, and I also love the fact that it's in a sector, right, the semiconductor sector, which is also in a daily squeeze. Now, for you guys who have been, rocking with me for a while, you'll remember back in 2017, we had a very similar setup in the financial sector, where a bunch of the leading names in finance were squeezing nice and tight on the daily chart. At the same time, XLF, the financial ETF, was squeezing nice and tight on the daily chart. That led to such a beautiful group move with money just rotating right into finance. For those of you guys who remember, we made some serious money back then. So anytime we can identify a sector, a basket of stocks in a daily squeeze, and then some of the leading names in that group are in a daily squeeze, you got some potential there. So I like the daily squeeze in AMD for all those reasons. How can you go about trading this, right? Now I got a bunch of videos, guys, talking about trading the squeeze naked, trading the squeeze with, a put credit spread. On a name like AMD, they're cheaper premiums. So for a smaller account, this might be appropriate, guys, for some naked calls for a swing. The other alternative, of course, the lower stress, higher probability alternative, is to go with a put credit spread. So in that event, I'd be looking at something, guys, get the 21 EMA down there right around 80. If the squeeze fails to break out, I like having puts underneath the 80 on the credit spread. That way, if we come on down to the 21, you're not getting wiped out. So, in that case, I'd kind of look, guys, maybe a couple of weeks out and start seeing, what kind of premium is available out here on those 80 strikes. We go to the September monthlies, you're looking at risking 7 to make about 3. Not bad at all. You want to give it more time, you can say go out to October, right? Now you got way more premium on those 80s. You're getting the same amount of cushion, but because of the more premium, because you're getting more time, you get a much better risk reward. So you're looking at risking 16 to make 900, better than a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. Okay? And in that instance, guys, you don't necessarily need, or you don't need, AMD to actually fire the squeeze. If you can get a put credit spreads, shorten some puts down there at 80, all you really need is for AMD to stay above 80. And then ultimately, you'll collect all that premium. But I love the setup, guys. So, we do our jobs as retail traders of finding go-to setups, but the real important part of the job is following the big money of the market. The reason I like this daily squeeze so much is because it's in a stock in a sector that's been getting some serious love. So those are 2 setups, guys, I'm focusing on this week. We got a daily squeeze here in AMD along with a daily squeeze in the semi sector itself that is yet to fire. Then you've got an example of a daily squeeze that has fired in Peloton, where I'm looking to play the continuation of the energy that's getting released from the daily squeeze. Simple as that, guys. I got my spreadsheet. I got all my squeezes up here. Not going to focus on anything else this week. So I appreciate the heck out of you guys for watching. If you haven't already, you know the drill. Go ahead and subscribe and check us out at focustrades.com. For those of you guys in the group, I'll see y'all. Let's see what time it is. I will see you guys in 2 hours for morning prep. For the rest of y'all, have a great day, and I'll keep y'all posted on whatever the market throws my way this week.